Alright, welcome everybody. Adventure. We got Kyla here with me. I'm Jimmy from Jimmy's Wild Adventures. Today we're going to go fly a Cavalon. Now, how many flights have you been on before? Flight instruction? One flight. So she's basically an expert. So for her second flight today, we're bringing her up in some pretty less than favorable conditions wind-wise. The winds are roughly 25 gusting knots, so about 30 miles an hour or more. So why are we going on your second flight in a super windy day? Good answer, because later on in life, if you're flying somewhere and you land at an airport and the winds aren't favorable, you'll have had this training early on to, well, decide whether or not to fly. But you might be in a condition to where you get to an airport and you don't have enough to get fuel to get back to a different one, so you have to land here. And that's called poor decision making and bad piloting, but we'll go into that later. But if we train early on now in these types of conditions, you'll see what it takes to establish a goal now. We'll train in better wind conditions, but you'll see today what it takes to make a good landing and a good takeoff, and eventually you get to that skill level and work towards it. Sound good?
Yes.
Awesome. So while we're going out here, tell me why you want to be a pilot. Why do you want to fly?
I don't know, it seems like fun. I went up with my dad, and it was just like, it was just calming, it seemed kind of cool. And so I wanted to try.
Yeah? How was your first flight?
I liked it. I liked going with Henry though more.
Yeah? More experience?
Yeah.
Was it a little sketchy with your dad? What was it? Like, was it a windy day or something?
No, he was just like Henry, my dad went up really slow because he's still kind of learning, so he went up really slow. But then Henry, we just took right off, and that was kind of cool, and then we got to, try some stuff, and so that's when I was like, okay, I actually kind of like this.
I think you'll like today's flight, then. We'll do a zoom climb on takeoff, so we'll stay low to the ground, and when we go to leave the Earth, we'll go up about 500 feet.
Okay.
That way, if we lose the engine, we still have half of a runway ahead of us to land.
Okay.
Also, if we're at the end of the runway, we're a lot higher than we would be normally climbing out slow and low, and we can make a turn, come back to a runway.
Okay.
So we'll do we call it like a short field landing. So the field is short, you want to get up and out as quick as possible. So we'll gain as much altitude as we can in the shortest distance we can. Except rotorcraft can't stall, so we can pull up abruptly. We did our run up, we're ready for takeoff. So, take off. I want you reading through this while you're performing it on takeoff, okay?
Okay.
Don't say okay to that. How are you going to read while doing all that? I'm just kidding. So the quick summary of this says, pre-rotate, get your rotor RPMs to a 200 minimum. In this aircraft, it'll pre-rotate to 320. And then it says, we have 4 steps, real easy. Step 1, release the pre-rotator. Step 2, stick back. 3, release the wheel brake. 4, add power. That's it. Wheel balance, blah, 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 this and that. But you said you wanted to get up out and early instead of taking forever, so we're going to do that.
Okay.
That's not on this checklist, so go ahead and stow that away. Perfect. Next thing we do is we taxi up to the hold short line for the runway, and we call the tower and say, hey, we're ready for takeoff. Then we go do that.
35.4, squawk 4654.
Chino Tower 915 Alpha call, hold short, Papa 26 right, request to remain in the pattern.
915 Golf, Chino Tower, stand by, traffic landing.
Stand by, 915 Alpha call. There we go. I just wanted him to be sure he heard us. Do you see the guy landing?
Yeah.
Perfect, that's here. ADS-B. ADS-B was mandated January 1st, 2020, all the out. You had to have it installed in your aircraft in a terminal area. We'll look at that later with a mode C ring within that area. So something like Los Angeles, I don't think Riverside has it, but Los Angeles does. But it's nice to know because you're broadcasting your position to everybody, and then there's in where we can see them. That's optional, but I love it. Like once you fly with it, you can see every aircraft around you. It's nice to have that. Otherwise, you're flying along and an airplane passes you or a helicopter or whatever, and you're like, where did they come from? This is not as fun. Alright, so when they clear us to take off, what we're going to do is we're going to pre-rotate out there, just like you guys did before. We're going to line up with the runway, take the rotor brake off, put it in flight mode, hold the handbrake, hit the pre-rotator button.
908, X-ray right turn at
It's going to engage that, start spinning up the rotor. We need a minimum 200, maximum 320. We'll go to about 250 today. The 4 steps you saw, we're basically going to do all at the same time. High performance takeoff. Then we're going to wheel balance, get to the air, get some speed, climb.
Thanks, 15 pre-rotate.
Sound good?
Yes.
For 26 right.
We'll follow the 15 for left base for 26 right.
Just watch the lane, they did a touch and go, barely.
Over 5 Alpha Golf, make right traffic, running 26 right, clip takeoff.
Clear for takeoff. Right traffic, 26 right, 9 Alpha Golf. Alright, I'm going to push on your door real quick. It's secure, mine's secure, we're all secure. Okay, so everything's green, nothing on the engines telling us it's hurting. So we're going to take off. And once we get airborne, I'll have you take controls. Sound good?
Yes.
Awesome. Alright. When you're sitting in the instructor seat, you gotta act like a pretzel over here. I got my arms crossed. Alright, pre-rotator's engaging. If you look at the dash, you see the engine RPMs and the rotor RPMs. Ooh, got those too low. That engaged quick. .200 is the minimum. Go for about a 250. Alright, let's go. What we want to watch for here is those rotor RPMs increasing. There they go. I want to see them at 300, and then the nose will lift up, and then we're just going to whoop right into the air, just like that. Pretty good? Sooner, faster, funnier, right?
Yeah.
Super windy day, we already talked about it. So, look at our airspeed, showing 70 over here,
Okay.
75. The wind is coming 90 degrees from the right, from the north. On the count of 3, we'll go up. You ready?
Yes.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Just kidding, let's go.
Cherokee 5 runway, turn to the wash, number 1, or 26 right, clear to land.
All right, we'll turn to the wash, 26 right, clear to land, 85 Romeo.
You guys climbed like that last time, right?
No,
You sure?
I don't think so.
Cool. Now look at our altitude. We just climbed 500 feet. We can make a landing anywhere with a day like today, today's wind. Not so bad. All right, so one thing I want to show you is,
Yeah.
go ahead and let go. I've trimmed for this. I'll climb out 65 knots or so. It's
Yeah.
windy, but when you reduce power, naturally, the drag's decreased on the rotor, so the nose is going to want to drop.
Okay.
Let me reduce. See how the nose is starting to drop? So our airspeed will eventually increase when the nose dropped on its own. There we go. It slowed down because I reduced power, but now it's speeding up. So when I trim for that takeoff, it's a good climb out. When you reduce power, naturally, it's going to establish a nice cruise altitude. I didn't have to do anything. So the least you fly, the better. And now I'm just adding a little bit of trim to try to establish pattern and all that for where we're going. Again, just flying with trim. The least flying you do, the little inputs, smoother it is. I've got every morning on here. But again, I haven't been flying this aircraft. And we just took off, leveled out, and we're making a right turn to our downwind.
Left turn, or 26 right, clear takeoff.
So now to go to the left, just going to put some pressure on it.
Runway traffic departing for arrival, Cessna.
Do that, lower the nose.
Tower 5 Alpha Golf, number 2 following a Cherokee on a 3-mile final, report them in sight.
Don't have him in sight yet, but number 2 behind the Cherokee, I'll call it out when I see him for 26 right, 2 Delta Golf. Or 5 Alpha Golf. What are we? 5 Alpha Golf. Thought you were the expert here. Where were you? So, he said on a 3-mile final, there it is. At Cherokee, 3.7 from our position because we're on this side of the runway. So now we can see them on ADS-B, but we don't have a visual. He's asking us to call it out when you actually see them.
Okay.
So that's also important because ADS-B is not 100% accurate. It can be delayed. That's not exactly where they are. It's just where they're broadcasting their position. So if I say, yeah, I got them in sight, well, what if I was looking at the wrong aircraft?
Yeah.
So, windy day, right?
Yeah.
It's not super windy. Trying to figure out with our weight, the altitude, density, sorry, the temperatures for today, what we need to maintain stable level flight. So they talked to you a little bit, I think I was supposed to open this, they talked to you a little bit about the delay that you get with the controls.
Yes.
So if I push the stick to the right, I'm flying, well, let's wait for the wind. If I push the stick to the right, then we start to turn. If I push to the left, then we start to turn, because you're flying the rotor, we're just that pendulum underneath it. So it turns, we follow. All right, and the one thing you never want to do is shove forward, but you can push the controls, you just don't do this.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
Cool. All right, go ahead and grab the controls.
Okay.
All right, look out the window.
Tower 5 Alpha Golf, traffic mile final, Cherokee.
Got him in sight, yeah, 5 Alpha Golf.
5 Golf, number 2 follow Cherokee, runway 26 right, clear for the option.
Clear for the option, 26 right behind the Cherokee, number 2, 5 Alpha Golf. All right, see the road that's in front of us? Kind of go ahead and stay there. And then if you look out the window, you see that Cherokee he's talking about, the airplane coming in for a landing?
Yes.
We can't turn until we've passed him. Now go ahead and look back out the window. Push left. You see how you pulled right by looking right?
Yeah.
That's just something that happens in the beginning. When you look, you tend to like push and pull towards it.
Okay.
So keeping us over here, you see this road that's going left to our right. Go ahead and give the stick a little bit of a right input. We'll begin to roll. A little bit more, just hold it there. So what happens now is our lift has changed to the right. It's going to start falling down. So you need a little bit of backstick pressure, and then just hold it. And that's it. Just wait. Look out the window where you're going. Okay, now give us a little bit of left, and roll out. Keep rolling left, left, left. Perfect. Keep flying down that road. You see the runway? Go ahead and push stick to the right.
There you go.
Keep going. When the nose drops a little, backstick pressure. And we want to roll out facing the runway, so push left. There you go, just drive it like a joystick. Go ahead and lower the nose just a little bit.
If I remember right, Lieutenant Kilo, come through.
Right, that's the runway we're going on. So the wind is coming from here. If we point at it directly, we're going to end up drifting. So little turns, just do little movements. So level the aircraft. Here, let's point it right at the runway. Lower the nose. So one good little secret about this is if you put the numbers where you want to land right on the nose of the aircraft, that's where we're going to land.
Okay.
And then we look down, that's the speed we're going to land at. I don't want to go that fast, so I'm going to start reducing some power. A little bit different of a technique. So we teach pitch for speed and power for altitude.
Okay.
Remove your power, you're going to go down. Add power, you're going to go up. And now if you're going too fast, you pull back to slow down. If you're going too slow, you push forward to go down. Speed up, sorry. Make sense?
Yes.
But right now, we're pointing at the numbers. We've got 60-something miles per hour, or knots, sorry, indicated. That's where we're going, at 60 knots, because I pulled power back down to there. But we have a wind coming from the right, so we have to push right. But now our nose is facing this way, so we have to push with our left foot to straighten the nose out. So the stick controls drift, where you go down the runway. The feet control where the nose points. And for that, I'm going to keep us at about this altitude by adding power. I'm going to let you see how that works. So, use your feet, push right. The nose is right. Now the aircraft's going to start flying to the right. Push left. And we're still flying this way, but with our nose pointing to the right. All right, we're crabbing or slipping in. If you land like this, you roll over. So you straighten it with your feet. Now perfectly level, the wind is blowing us to the left. So you have to turn into the wind and land crooked. Make sense?
Yes.
Cool. So to fly down the runway, we're just going to swerve like this. But look at what the nose does. So the nose is crooked, so to fly straight, but now we're drifting left, you have to hold hard left to point the nose down and do whatever it takes to control your drift to fly straight, and then whatever it takes to move your nose to control the yaw. Cool. Well, we'll just do it a go around. We didn't have to land.
Extend upwind.
Extend upwind, 5 off golf. I just wanted to show you that correlation and how it works so that when we do come in for a landing, a lot of people have a tendency to steer with their feet because if you're in a car, wherever the car points, you tend to point the car that direction it goes. So you point with your feet and hope it flies. And yeah, it will eventually, but it's also kind of flying sideways. So if you see that we're going to the left, you use the stick, go to the right. Just use your feet to point the nose down the runway and keep it aligned. All right, so we're climbing now. We're in the 50s, right? Go ahead and straighten us back out. Keep us going straight.
Do it. 2 aircraft with a right arrival and then 26 right, cut a land.
So 60, I'll keep us straight. See how that artificial horizon matches out there?
Foxtrot Victor traffic.
Pull some power. Go ahead and relax your hand grip.
The Gyrocopter.
So that's level. We're a little to the right because the wind is to the right.
2000.
And it keeps us going straight. Kind of see some roads down there, how far we are from them.
Boeing Victor, thanks, 1350 at 6 altimeter 3003.
3003, they changed it on us. They as in nature. So keep that right stick input just a little bit. No. So yeah, when the wind happens in these, you don't really have to fight them like you do with an airplane. So see how you're level? Go ahead and pull a little to the right. Go. Keep that attitude right there, just on the horizon. But you see out in front how we're kind of drifting this way?
Yeah.
So we need more to the right. We might need here to stay straight. Only because it's windy.
Delta fly runway heading, I'll call that left turner in a 26 right.
Keep it right. There you go. You gotta hold it. Then we can use our trim if it's too much. Not too much. See how we're starting to right?
5 Alpha Golf or right turn approved traffic.
There you go. Make it right turn.
A Mustang.
Right turn, 5 Alpha Golf. All right, now the nose is dropping a little bit, so a little bit of backstick pressure. Just hold the turn. Then when you're ready to roll out, straighten stick. Level the aircraft by pushing left. And that's it. Good job. Now can you see the road that runs parallel to the runways and all that?
Wait, yes.
All right, go ahead and push to the right.
Alpha Golf number 2, follow us on a 2 mile final, runway 26 right, clear for the option.
Clear for the option, 26 right, following a Cessna number 2 to 5 Alpha Golf. All right, now pull back stick pressure, there you go, just maintain it. And that's where we want to end up, down there. So as you're turning, start to roll your turn out early, there you go. And then fly us down that road.
Chino Tower, Cessna 633.
Good job on the little moves and stuff.
And we're at 68.
Keep us there, and that's good. You might have to actually tilt a little left because now the wind is on our left. It's coming from the north. Go ahead and lower your nose just a bit. There you go. See this artificial horizon? The yellow is us.
Yeah.
That's the sky, that's the ground. So you want to keep the yellow right there. But keep us flying straight down that road. Remember, little moves.
Yeah.
So this, I'm letting it happen. It's called a pilot-induced oscillation. You go up, you go down, it starts getting bigger. So you got us in a right. Keep it level. There you go. You see the road?
Yeah.
Let's just fly straight down that road. Don't stare at this too much because that's going to mess you up.
Okay.
So looking out the window, staring at the road, and now all we do is glance down every once in a while to make sure. So let go of that stick pressure. There you go. Let the nose drop. It wants to go down. It wants to fly like this. So how can you, well, bird, how do you figure out where it wants to fly without pulling up and down this and that? I'll show you. So at this power setting, I'm going to lower the nose to let it speed up, and it's going to automatically pull itself up right about there and wants to pitch back up. It's like a paper airplane. It's called a fugaloid, right? A fugula. It slows down, it stalls, builds speed, pitches up. That's exactly what this is doing. It's going so fast, it's building enough drag, it pitches back up. That's where it wants to settle. So if you're wondering how fast, how high, how low to put the nose, you can just get a little speed, it'll level itself out. That's pretty much where it's comfortable.
26.
So we want to stay about right here.
42 information, X-rays current, wind 3109, altimeter 3001.
Altimeter is lower.
We have X-ray voice traffic.
Perfect.
Shoot out the left and approve contact, SoCal departure.
So like right now, I never saw the Cessna. You said we were behind.
Gyrocopter on the right down rear the numbers.
I'm going to ask him because I didn't see it. I don't want to assume that he's not there. Tower 5 Alpha Golf, are we cleared number 1 now?
Golf affirmative, number 1.
5 Alpha Golf, number 126 right. All right, go ahead and make that right turn.
With you. So it's a 545, so Chino Tower, make
a little bit of that back stick pressure. There you go, nice good turn. We're just going to keep this turn. All right, a little bit of back stick. All right, so you see the numbers 26?
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to point the nose of the aircraft at those numbers as we turn around. All right, so
right there, Charlie. Once you get to the downwind, begin a right turn to the east.
So the nose, point them at the numbers.
Downwind now for 26 right.
There you go. All right, looking down, my speed, I'm speeding up, so I'm going to start lowering my power.
So we're over the watch.
Keep us at the numbers. There you go.
Turn to right base, approach Charlie.
That's it, little moves.
Begin a right turn to the east. Just right turn due eastbound. I'll call your base. So right turn eastbound now, please.
Now push your foot to the left. Straighten the nose out a little bit. But remember, don't drift too much. Just keep us nice and level. Little moves. So right now, what do we need to do to correct anything? We're coming in pretty straight.
Yeah.
Start that back stick pressure to level off. So you just want to keep the nose level, let the aircraft sink. As it starts to sink, we're going to transition into that back stick pressure. Get us a nice little landing, keep the nose up, bleeds off all our speed and energy, and it brings us to a complete stop, even on a windy day. All right, with that stick back, we're going to add the power. Checking my rotor RPMs.
Base is approved number 2, following traffic on a 2 mile final, runway 26 right, clear to land, wind
290, 300, we got wind on the right. You can see the windsock, so I'm moving this over, and that's keeping us going straight. I'm low power, so I can show you what it takes to keep us in a wheel balance right here. Just keeping the tire off the ground, just a little bit of right stick input, a little bit of right rudder. Winds are pretty stable here, but as we get behind these buildings in transition, it's probably going to change a little bit. We're going to lose a little bit of the wind we've got, maybe get some gusts. But that's pretty much it for the most part. Now that your nose is in the air, when you add power, you need right rudder, left stick. If you add power, it actually pushes the nose before it pulls it. So if we pull the stick up and add power at the same time, we're going to take off nice and smooth. So go ahead and put your hand on the throttle and just apply full power, nice and smooth, all the way. Pull the stick up, full power, all the way. And then we just took off nice and smooth. So once you get the nose in the air, it's ready to fly if we're at any kind of partial power setting. Just lift the nose and add the power and you'll take off nice and smooth.
Does the 530 traffic falls 1 o'clock and I'm
I gotta look out the window to try to figure out where you're going because the nose is high.
1,200.
But we're climbing out at 55 knots. Let's lower the nose for that speed. What happens if we climb out at 65 knots? We can actually see more of the ground.
At your 1 o'clock.
So do we need to avoid an obstacle here? We've already passed 50 feet, all that stuff. So we lower the nose a little to get a better speed and a better sight picture. Now we can see if we're moving left or right or where to land if the engine quits. We're like this.
Runway 26 right.
Not so much.
And runway 26 right by Juliet.
570, do not overshoot the base in the final. Traffic on opposite
little bit of power.
Runway 1,200 and kid. Cessna.
Don't overshoot the base. 570.
Number 83 Charlie, traffic off
Go ahead and make a right turn here.
Runway 1,200 and kid.
They didn't tell us to do anything special. Stick pressure. Nice gradual turn. We're like pretty crooked.
Short of 26 right.
Okay, go ahead and straighten us out.
Departure heading to.
What our goal is to do basically 90-degree turns. So you see the roads, how they're all like this and that. So we'll do a nice smooth turn to the right here over this road.
Golf, extend downwind.
Extend downwind, 5 Alpha Golf. All right, there you go.
Chino,
Backstick pressure.
19 Kilo, about 3
Look
miles
where you want to go.
north.
That's it, just hold it.
Through the northeast of your airspace, northwest of your airspace.
And then you always want to be early because everything's delayed. So starting to roll out here. Gradually reducing the turn. Now we're flying straight right onto it. Keep that nose right about there. Well, we call this the sight picture, how much sky, how much ground you got. So this takes a while to get used to how much of it you need to see. But you can glance down there and see that.
Golf, extend down, I'll call the base.
Extend downwind, 5 Alpha Golf, you'll call my base.
You said you want to go to bracket, or I'm sorry, straight out, or something like that?
Straight out and then, yes, to bracket Cessna, several major.
That's pretty much it. Ooh, we are getting those gusts. They're like right here. They're doing something weird, like swirling back there. I thought that was you. We were doing this. Wrapping around the belly.
We can turn right to in contact, ground.
Right at the end, on the ground, 1-4 Victor.
Here they are.
I feel it.
So yeah, this is a pretty windy day. So teaching you how to deal with it, not that bad, but expecting somebody to perform at a proficiency level and doing a test or a check ride isn't.
Golf number 2, following Cessna half mile final, runway 26 right, clip for the option.
Clip the option 26 right, number 2 behind the Cessna, 5 Alpha Golf. Not a good day for expecting perfection for a test, if you will. But it's a good learning opportunity. Doing good though. Look at how much you're holding a straight track and you're flying it. Well, as soon as I say that, you turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, straight and level. Now, if you look to your right, you can see that airplane's landing. We're behind them. So we get past them just a little bit more. Pick a road, whichever one you like, that goes left to right, this tree line, if you'd like, and we'll make a right turn to turn in there for a final landing.
The tree?
Yeah, see all those trees?
Yeah.
Cool. Go ahead and begin your right turn. Just a little bit of a turn. Let the nose drop on you. Wait for it. Don't keep turning. There you go. Backstick pressure. The nose is down just a bit. And just hold it. It's gusty. It's windy. And right as we're coming up to it, start your leveling out. Good job. Keep us going over the trees though. Keep that nose low. It's windy. It is. So I'm talking you through it. I'm not expecting you to do it perfectly. It's windy. You gotta fight it. And we're gonna be landing there at the airport. Keep us straight and level. See how we're going left? There you go. All right, start turning towards the runway.
Have a good day.
Lower in the nose. Not so much of a turn.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good. Nice and smooth. Little inputs. We'll lower the power. Pretty close. It's windy. I'm actually going to make this one a landing because we got a 90 degrees. So let's say we wanted to land here. Well, we can. We can aim for all this. We can do that. We can just get to the ground. These things slow down quick. So we'll do that. There we go. Feel the wind pushing us from the side? All right, so if we land with no power, we need to maintain a certain speed to maintain rudder control. But if we had power, we've got some. The more nose-up attitude we have, the more the power of the engine is holding us up with our altitude. So we can land at a much slower speed. Yep, just touching those tires. Ugh. Look at the wind. We had a tailwind, crosswind. Just hit a
Yankees current 1206, altimeter 3002.
So, brake mode, let the stick go forward. We're gonna keep it into the wind. We'll go back for now, plus we're low on fuel. We've only got 5 gallons. If we do too abrupt of a turn, we might run the tank dry and lose power. So, with all these bumpy windy conditions, contact ground, 5 off golf. So we'll just land for now. But was it a pretty decent lesson?
Yeah, yes.
You learned some stuff?
Yeah, I did.
What it's like to fly in the wind?
Yeah.
Good. There was a lot of traffic, then everybody suddenly disappeared. We call them real quick. Where are we? Chino ground, 915 Alpha Golf, exiting 26 right at Delta, going back to Eagle 2.
Sure, 915 Alpha Golf, Chino ground, taxi via Delta Mike.
Via Delta Mike, 5 Alpha Golf. Cool. So, we say the aircraft is still flying. It's not done until that's done spinning and the thing in the back is done spinning.
Okay.
So I'm maintaining control of the rotor. A gust of wind could hit us right now. The wind is coming from our left currently, so you can see our string is to the right. And if I let the wind get under the wing in the wrong spot, there we go, lined up, it could flip or hit the tail, bend the wrong direction. So now I'm going to point the stick into the wind. It helps fly it down like that so it doesn't blow back. Make sense?
Yes.
Cool.